right, kampai. Got my favorite cup. Got my favorite people. The light is on. Oh, I must have left it on too long. Oh, it's a little dim. It's coming. Oh, but hot water's going. You get your cup ready? Good. All right. So it is tea time. If you wonder what I'm drinking, it is a oolong. It's a nice oolong tea from Twinings. And it's hot. But it's good. Nice black tea. It opens you up. Well, oolong. All right. So, I was at church today, and at the end of the sermon, this has nothing really to do with the main part of the sermon, which was a summer slump. But Pastor Zach said something that was really profound. I haven't really thought of it this way in a long time. So as I was sitting in my thinking chair, thinking about the things to think about, guess what? One last sip. And this is what he said. He said, the giver is far more important than the gift. And that really, like, all kind of things was going off in my head. And this is what I wanted us to think about as we go throughout this week. Today's Sunday, so we're gearing up for a brand new week of this and that. And we'll receive things. And we'll also give things to other people. And as we go through these things that we give and get, what I want you to think about as you give and you get, and then at the end of the day you do your reflection, is to think about that. The giver is far more important than the gift. Of course we want to get things. Of course. Love getting things. And we want to be a blessing to others. We want to give things. But I don't want... Well, here's just some things that I was thinking about. You know, I think about my kids, like Christmas time and things. We want to give them things, and or people want to give gifts. And the gift sometimes replaces the giver. So here's some things I was thinking of not to do, and to do at the end, but not to do. Don't let the gift replace the giver, the one who gave it to you. Also, along those lines, don't let the gift cause you to forget the giver. I think some of the problems that we have is when we start functioning in our blessings, that we have this gift going on for us and we do great things, and then we start to think, this is supposed to be, this is me. And sometimes it replaces the giver, or it helps us or causes us to forget the giver, where we live this good life and the things that we are doing, you know, once we forget who gave it to us, then we don't follow those laws to keep those gifts. That's what happened with Saul when he became king. He kind of forgot the giver, and it didn't work out very well. So what I want you to do is to really treasure the gifts. It's great to treasure the gifts. But while treasuring these gifts in your heart, you know, honor the giver. And you might ask yourself, well, that makes sense. That's good. You know, I want to honor the giver. How do I do that? And this is the greatest thing. The greatest thing you can do to honor the giver And this is, and think about this from a giving standpoint. If you give somebody something, wouldn't you want them to do with it what you intended them to do with it? Okay? You know, if you gave your kid a car, this is for you to get around. You know, this is for you to help me run errands, or this is for you to get to school. And they take that car and they start to do whatever they want to with it. They have all their friends in the car. They're taking their friends all across town. They're trying to go on trips and everything. But that's not really what you intended for them to do with it. Now, it was a gift from you to them, but they are doing what they want to with it. How does that make you feel? So, I was thinking about that, and there's sometimes God gives us great things, and we don't really take it the way He intended us to do. Something like, I think about great worship leaders, and they take those gifts that God has given them for worship, and they start worshiping, and they're really good, and then they get discovered, and then they start to see money come in, and fame and fortune, and everybody wants to be with them. And then as they grow, that money starts to turn the other way, where it's like, okay, I know you sing this particular genre, but wouldn't it be good if you tried to go in this direction? You would probably reach a greater audience if you didn't sing so much of this and you went in this direction. Not so good. You're taking the gift, but you're forgetting the giver. You take the gift, and sometimes even the gift replaces the giver as the gift gave itself. And it doesn't work that way. One more. So what does honor mean? Honor means to show great respect. And it also means to hold in high esteem. So when we treasure the gift and we honor the giver, we hold in great respect of who the giver is. And we hold in high esteem of who the giver is. And we treasure that gift. And we do that, we honor them by using it as it was intended. So if you have the gift of gab, and you say, God gave me this gift, then think about what you're using it for. If your parents gave you something, what did they intend for you? I'm talking to some of my kids out there. If you have this God-given talent, this gift, what are you using it for? And I just want you to think about that as you start to reflect on your day-to-day. Am I doing what I've been called to do? I know I have this calling, but am I doing it? I know I have this gift. Am I using it as it was intended for me? And if you don't know what the intent was, why not ask? Now, if it was intended, if I gave you something and I just said, do whatever you wanted to with it, well, do whatever you want to. If you do whatever you want to with it, then it was done intentionally, and the giver should be grateful. But if the giver gave you something to use it in a certain way, to honor them, to best use it the way it was intended to, that's how you hold them in high esteem. My friend gave me this. Just one example. My friend and my teacher, my sensei, gives me tickets to Japan Fest. It's a gift. And I always use that gift with my kids to help them experience, and I go experience the things that I think she intended for me to go experience. I got to see people, I got to see new things, try new foods, just to experience a taste of Japan right here where I am when I had never been before. So I think that honors her for me to go there, and I can go back and say, hey, this is how I use this gift. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. This is what my kids got out of it. This is what we got. This is what we did. I think that makes her happy. Happy enough to maybe do it again. But if she had gave me some free tickets, or not saying that they were free, but if she gave me tickets and said, hey, how many do you want? 3? And I go and say, put them up online. I'm selling these tickets to Japan Fest. And she saw that, she might be like, well, I'm never giving that person a ticket again. They didn't use it the way that I intended them to use it. That's kind of messed up. I feel a certain way. So think about that as you go throughout your week. If you get something from somebody, thank them. And then kind of remember these words. I want to honor the giver. I want to honor that and use it as they intended, because they were trying to be a blessing. And that's how the blessing works. The blessing flows when you honor the giver and then use it as it was intended. Okay? So, you guys have an awesome, awesome, awesome start to your week. And we'll talk again tomorrow. Kanpai.